What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into another video. Just a quick little intro off the top before we kick off this video. We're gonna review quickly all of the Ekster wallets to this date. They introduced the new AirTag variants on their Parliament wallet and their aluminum card holder. And since I have done kind of like an in-depth dive of the Parliament and the aluminum card holders, I'm gonna link to those in the video here as we go throughout and in the description below. So if you really want to go on a deep dive, you can go watch those two, because the only true differences between those wallets and the AirTag variants are these AirTag enclosures. So with that, we won't waste any more time. We're going to hop into this video and take a look at all these brand new Ekster wallets and see what we got. Let's get to it.
So there is a ton of Ekster stuff to look at, and today we've got the brand new AirTag holder wallets, the Parliament, and just the aluminum card holder. But first up, we're going to take a look at the Parliament wallets because they're virtually identically the same. Materials, look, stitching, compartments, just only that AirTag enclosure on the new one. So we're going to take a look at this one first. Literally, you can see the embossed Ekster logo there, the money band, the materials used, the two flaps, like literally everything is exactly the same minus that little AirTag holder. So we're going to focus on that just to start, and we're going to look at the Parliament wallet here and kick it off. So what we're going to look at first is the card ejector. Again, both exactly the same. As you'll see here, it's that little toothed prong ejector that's going to stagger the cards up when you press the little button at the side. So when you're putting cards in here, suggested, I'm going to say in the main compartment, 5 to 6 cards, mixed use. That means embossed and flush. So about 5 to 6 cards. But if you're going to have all non-embossed cards, I'm going to say 7 cards in total will go into that main card compartment. One thing I'm going to say here, the one downside, is the inner card flaps. Due to the enclosure that, as you can see, I could stuff a lot of cards in here, and I'm not going to put a lot of money. I'm just going to tri-fold 3 bills to put into that money holder. But even though you're going to see also the money that you could put even more, you can see the gap there. Even though you can put a lot of stuff in here, just because there's no enclosure, if you put too much in here, it's going to sit like this, and it's not going to be a comfortable carry. So I would not suggest having this packed too much due to that. So in this main 2 flap compartment, and the back is not as big of a deal. That's going to be for your proprietary Ekster tracker if you don't get the AirTag one. But in these 2 compartments at the front, I'm going to say maximum 2 by 2 cards. You're going to see I'm going to put 3 and 3. And again, that's even going to be too much. So just so you're aware, across both the AirTag and this version of the Parliament, make sure to not overpack that inner spot because you're going to get that huge pushback. So 2 by 2 max. I would suggest probably 1 and 1 to be really safe if you want to throw some cash in here. But 2 and 2 max, you'll see the difference it makes. It's still going to push open, but it's not going to forcefully push back at you, and that's what you don't want. It's not as bad here. You can't see it, but it's definitely much more comfortable if you keep it at 2 and 2 in that inner card flap. Now, if you want to put some cards in the back, 4 to 5. Again, if you don't get the AirTag version, you're going to put their Ekster tracker. But if you get the AirTag version, you're going to put 4 and 5 in the back. And yeah, that's pretty much what you're working with the card capacity. If you want to get the AirTag variant, again, exact same wallet except for this housing. Now, it's completely fitted, stitched beautifully, leather wrapped in a hard, I guess probably plastic enclosure to keep it nice and safe and from moving around. The cool thing is it's its own space. As you can see, there is a leather flap flush to the back where the AirTag will sit, so there is no way for it to float around. There's no way for it to mess up if you want to put cards in the back there. So as you can see here, how you're going to fit it is you're going to have that brushed metal facing out. That's how it fits in there. And as I said, it's completely put so it doesn't interfere. As you can see, if you don't put it in properly, it doesn't sit right. So if you want to put cards and use the AirTag, there's going to be no interference because this spot is made to have it sit in just one position. So once you get that in there, it's not going to move around. It's not going to pop out, which is great. And you still have total access to the back to put cards in as you please. So let's take a look and see cards, cash, what you're working with both of these wallets. Only downside, do not overpack that inner compartment with the cards and the cash. Otherwise, here's your stats of these 2 wallets. All right, so next up, the aluminum / carbon fiber card holders or AirTag holders. Literally, everything's going to be exactly the same, minus the materials, whichever you choose, but the back plates are going to be made the same heavy aluminum back plates. Only difference, AirTag has an opening, a recessed spot made specifically for the AirTag to sit in, nice and comfy. The non-version is a solid back, as you can see here. That's going to be your only real little key difference. With the AirTag version, you get a rubber money band with that custom housing for the AirTag to sit into, and that money band spot, this little padded spot to keep things nice from moving around. Not really sticky, but keeps that friction there to keep things from moving around. Here's a fabric variant with some little rubber dots for that sticky aspect to keep it from moving around on the wallet, but otherwise you can mix and match as you please. As you can see here, I'm putting the same AirTag band and backplate on all the variants that I have. I'm a big fan of the carbon fiber, so we're going to stop on that one, but it's totally open versus the Parliament where it has its own secure spot that's closed off from the rest of the wallet. This one's open to the elements if you pull it up right to the wallet itself, but it's going to fit and sit in the exact same way, same position. You have to have the Apple logo, that brushed stainless steel spot facing out. In terms of movement, I don't think you're going to have a problem. There's very little movement. It sits nice and flush on the wallet, though I'm not as big of a fan because it's not totally secure and in its own position. Again, I don't think you're going to have any issues with it popping out, but just my preference, I enjoyed having it, in its own secure spot like it had in the Parliament and not really open to everything if it's bent out of shape. One thing I'll say, again, a personal preference of mine, the elastic bands on these wallets, just be sure not to overpack over time. Things lose rigidity if you stretch them out too much. So just try to keep it, if you have the fabric band, not overpacked when you're putting things within that back plate. But in this back plate, you can get up to 9 cards. I wouldn't put any more than that just because, again, you want to keep that rigidity. Cash, you can get 5 to 10 tri-folded bills, no problem. And in the main compartment of this wallet, in the main card holder, 1 to 6 cards flush or about 4 to 5 cards embossed. So around 5 or 6 mixed use. But here are the stats for the aluminum carbon fiber card holder.
So there you have it. A little review of all the Ekster wallets up to this date. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Again, like I said, I will link to the more in-depth review of the Parliament and the aluminum card holders if you choose to want to watch that. At the end of the day, if you were going to be picking between the two AirTag variants, I think as much as I like the enclosure on the Parliament version, I think you would go with the aluminum card holder just simply because I'm not a huge fan of the functionality of the Parliament. I think this is a much more functional unit and how it's put together. So with that though, I think everybody, all the videos I have, I think you guys could probably make up a decision for yourselves what works best for you. I know everybody's different. But again, I hope you found this video helpful, and everybody take care, be safe and well out there. And as always, until next time, later.